So that we have seen, right? So, and also some assertions also have introduced, but still there are so many assertions. I will go through them once this drop down is done. Okay, so there are so many assertions are there. Yesterday we used it to be visible only. So, but still many assertions are there. So we will check those assertions also one by one. I will show you how to do that assertions. So how to check boxes. Okay, how do you know checkbox is checked or not? So those assertions also we can handle. So that I'll show you how to do that. Okay, that is another. First we are going to cover today. One is first let's target how to handle drop down, single selector, multi-selector drop downs. You can see my screen right here. We have this is the single selection drop down. Only one you can select, right? And this is the multi-selection drop down. You can select multiple options. So how can you handle all this different type of things, right? The different type of elements how to handle. So that's what we need to understand. If you go here, so there is a select options. You can see. So if you go to actions, so they have provided for input checkbox and radio button. And assertions, I'll show you all this. These are the assertions to be checked or to use. We'll discuss that. Select options. This is the one I want to show you. And so you can select an option or multiple options in the selected tag. Selected tag means that's a pure drop down, right? So that is select drop down inside. You can select one option or multiple options. Then how can you select that? So there is a direct method, a select option method. Say single selection matching the value or label. You can directly give a value or label here by calling this select option method, or you can use a locator. So page dot locator and then the select option method you call. So only single method, but the way you specify is different. See, you have to specify if you want to select by label, you give a label. Or you want to select multiple options, select option. So red, green, blue. So like this you can do multiple option selection also. So you can select by index also. You can select by label. You can select by value attribute. So how can we do this? So that's what we're going to see now. And then, so we can, so just select different ways how to select. Even you can use a locator, right? Locator concept. Or you can use a built-in locators. See here it is showing a built-in locators, get by label, right? So this is the, so maybe these colors, right? A different one, but yeah, we'll use so that built-in methods or locator method, any one you can use. And then if you want to check the number of options in the drop down, if you know exactly, you can get that number of options also. So how to get that number of options, we'll see that also. Okay, one by one we can see. I'll show you some assertions also I'm going to use, and so that you will come to know which assertion when to use, right? So let's go and target this. So different approaches. I'm going to show you that. Okay. First, let's take this one. Okay, this website, because we have a single selection and multi-selection drop down. Both we can cover. So create first single selection drop down, spec file. So under test folder, you have to create a new file. So select option, or you can put a handling drop downs. Okay, simple handling drop downs. So handling drop downs dot spec dot js. So simple we have written. Okay, so you can put const and curly bracket, you just write test and expect. So equal to require, and in the require you write, so playwright test at the rate playwright test at the rate playwright so you have to put a single quotes inside this one. So this is the one you otherwise you can copy from here if you're struggling. This one. Okay, I think we copied already. We did already same thing. You just copy paste that. So then test block. So test block is first title. You have to give the title, and title is single selection drop down. Single selection drop down. So and you have to write async async promise. You have to do that. Then you give the page promise. So this is arrow function, and start the arrow function block. Okay, so this is the how we can write a test block. Now first await page dot go to. So you can just go to, so give the URL. So I'm just giving this URL. So we are navigating to the page first. Okay, so after navigation, so if you want to do a verification of the page title and everything, fine, but we don't want to do those things. So let's get start directly, right? So we don't want to do that. So simple, you can start selecting an options one by one. So what are the different options you want to select? You can select one by one. So select an option from country drop down by label, first with label. Okay, so by label I'm selecting. So await page dot. So you can use anything what is there in that. You can observe this country drop down, locator, you can use any one locator, ID is there, so simply use ID. Okay, simply use this ID, or you can just copy by this property itself. You can give this property itself, you can give how to give this property. So I haven't shown you, did I show you the property how to give with the locator? So locator method, and directly you can give this value. So you can remove this no double quotes. This is the property, direct property you can give. So it will recognize that element. Dot select option. select option method, then you are selecting by label, right? So put in the curly bracket. So which label you want to select? Label colon and give the label. Simple. That's it. So you just go and select one of the option, any one option. So I'll say United Kingdom. By label United Kingdom I'm selecting. Okay, that's one. So this is the label or visible text, right? This is the label or visible text. Or you want to select one more. I want to select an option. So direct, even you can give a direct value also, right? You can give a direct value also. So that is also fine. So I'll give value. So by value attribute. Second one I'll select an option by value attribute. So how can you select an option by value attribute? So you have to write here in place of label, you just write a value attribute and give that value attribute. So go here and select. I'll select this USA. Okay, that's the value, but label is different, value is different, right? So this is the second one. So you can select an option by index. Select an option by index. So same thing, you copy. So you just need to provide, so index equal to, so you have to give index, you specify index, and you can just give the number. So right, the number is not a string, you can specify 1. 1 means 0 1. 0 is United States and 1 is Canada. Okay, Canada will select. So this is the how to select single selection drop down, or in 3 ways. One is by label, by value, even by index. You can select. So even you can give the label without just specify the value also. You can give like that also. So let me show you how to select without writing label. Select an option by visible text. So select option, just give this and what you want to select. I will select India. Okay, this time I'll select India. Okay, I'm just giving India. So you can give like this also. Okay, so this is all the different ways to select an option from single selection drop down. Any questions here? Till now clear?
So please share the URL success story.
URL, I don't have this URL, but we practiced last week also, right? Uh, Same URL. Oh, I think I use it for the Selenium guys, not for it. Oh no, action methods are related. We have written here only in this website only, right? Action methods.
Actually, okay.
No, action methods blog the URL only. Same. What are the uh, action methods? That one only. Open card page. Okay, I might be use a different one. Yeah, yeah. You can.
Open.
I pinged you in the chat. You can take it.
Yes.
So even you can instead of locator you can do like this also. This one another way. Shortcut. So this is the one. Page dot select option. So, but here you have to provide two values. One is this one. First, the drop down identification. The second part is the option, which option you are selecting. Maybe this time I'll select a different option. Let's select France. Okay. So I can give here France. So this is another way to write. So you don't need to write a locator. I already discussed this, like a fill method, click method we did, page dot click, page dot fill we have seen. Same way here as the select option method also, you can write like this. So you don't need to write a lengthy one, right? It will work this process also. Okay. So let's get some assertions here. So check number of options in the drop down. So first approach, right? So check number of options in the drop down, right? So this is the approach one. So I'll give different approaches. So approach one. So basically you need to get all the options, right? First build the CSS selector or XPath, whatever it is. Say this is the ID, and if you give so suppose Control F, or you can use this one also. Let me show you the selector sub. Use selector sub, easy to write. Say I'm going to use this ID. ID is a hash symbol. So just write hash symbol. So I'm fetching all the drop down options, right? That's what, how do you check these many elements are there? First you have to get all of them into one option variable. Like, in the Selenium we used to get using find elements method by tag name option tag. So all the elements it will give, all the options. Here also you have to get all the options, then the count. So what count you are expecting, you can do that. So country space, and I'm just giving option. See, there are 10 elements are there. So the 10 elements it will show here in the bottom. So if you see that, so these are the 10 elements. Okay, these 10 elements. So I have written a CSS selector. You can give directly CSS selector. So that will work out for us, right? And so you need to store this 10 options in the one variable. So if you want to do that, so let's go and do how to fetch. First I store in const variable, one const options equal to, so you give how to get them, so page dot, so you can just use a locator, so locator method, and that locator method will fetch all of them into, so those options. You can do multiple ways also. This I already told, you can use a double dollar, so to fetch multiple options. I didn't copy the CSS selector that we have written. Just copy this and paste it here. Okay, done. Now you need to do assertion, right? Let's do the assertion. So assertion means you already know await, expect function you have to call. So in the expect function, I'm just giving options to have a count. So there is a method called to have a count. To have count. So there is a method. Can you see this? This is the all assertions. So in Selenium you have to depend on the JUnit test engine, right? If you need assertions, but here inbuilt assertions are inbuilt. So how many we are verifying? 10. That's how. So how to do that? So that's a one approach one. So let me show you approach 2. So as I mentioned already, approach 2 is you can use page dot dollar dollar, right? The same, you don't need to write a locator. So I'm going to use a similar one, but I'm not going to use a locator. Page dollar dollar. Page dot, so dollar dollar, and the locator, says locator, which gives all the options. So options 2, I can put options 2, and then so you can, if you want, you can print all the number of options if you want to know that. Let me print. So how to print in JavaScript? You need to use console.log. So I can just print number of options, number of options. So you can just print that. You just call that so the length of that, right? So this length, options 2 dot length, so which will give you number of elements. Or you can do assertion one more way also. I'm covering some of the assertions, but yeah, so you try to use wherever you require. So await, expect, so options 2 dot length to be, there is a to be 10, right? So to be 10 is the another way to do the assertions. Okay, so these are the two options how to fetch. So I have shown you this one, or even use a locator method. It will give all the locator values based on this thing, and you can have to have count or to be also you can use. So now another one, check presence of value in the dropdown. So how do you check the presence of particular element, right? So how can you check that? So let's go and see that how can we check a presence of value in the dropdown. So I'll show you different options, and one by one we'll see now. So the next one is check presence of value in the dropdown. How do you check that? So just approach 1. There are different approaches. Approach 1. So first take this approach 1, then we'll go for the one by one. So first you need to get the which one is selected, right? Which one is selected, you want to get it. So get that. So I'm going to select one option. So the content of that selected option equal to, so or just, so whatever the option, just give option name, because if you use already option, that's why I'm giving a different variable, but not necessary to be selected any. So one option if you want to fetch, you can get that. So await page dot locator, and single quotes, I can write even hash country, right? CSS selector, this one is the CSS selector. So you can get that text content. Text content will fetch the text of that element, and then you can so check that expectation this is available or not. The selected one, what is the last one we selected? France, right? The France. So I'm going to assert that whether that is there or not in the entire thing. Yeah, let's see how to assert anything. You can just, there is a expect method to verify that to be truthy. So to be truthy will tell you whether it is true or not, whether it is present or not. So whether it is present or not, that's what this to be truthy will tell you. So to be truthy, to be falsy. To be truthy is nothing but you're expecting true. To be falsy means you're expecting that should be a false. So that's that true and false condition related assertions. So await, expect. So you got that value and you're asserting now. So we need to assert that, right? Whether the value is present or not. Particular thing you are verifying. Selected options dot includes which one? So which one? So I'm just looking for India. India is included or not in that. So it is present in the to be truthy. To be truthy. So it is present or not, we are checking. So this, in these options, this is present or not, I am checking. So that's the one way. The second approach is, so approach 2. What is that? Approach 2. So you are just getting the status of that, right? You are just getting the status of that options. So we already got on the top, and just you can check that particular values, iterate all of them, and you can get that one by one. So that is a bit lengthy one, but first one is very easy, right? So it's very easy. Here you have to get all the options, then you iterate all the options, right? One by one option you can iterate and then see the status of that each one. So that's how we need to do that. Let me show you all this one by one. So that is just a loop. For each loop you have to write. So first, no, get all the options into a const variable. Already we got it here, right? Options 2. So I'll use the same one. I don't need again repeat this code, right? So I can reuse that variable. That's why you have to store in the variables so that you can iterate it. So here, so what we are doing, we get all of them, just declare let variable status. What is the status? First status I am declaring as a false. So I'm thinking that it's not there. Okay. Then I'll change this concept. So for loop, so const, and you can declare so option of. So generally in the Java you have a data type, variable name, colon, collection name or array name. But here, so this is also similar. Variable name, that the variable data type and collection, the variable name. There we'll put a colon, right? In place of colon we are putting off here. That's it. So other than that, nothing. Then options. So options 2, you can take options 2, right? So all the options you are iterating one by one. So I already shown you how to iterate these multiple elements. And again now drop down options, how to iterate, I'm showing here now. So then you get the each option, this option text. How can you get that? You can print that. So console dot log. How to get the each option text?
Okay.
Text content. Text content.